Welcome back. The National Union of Mineworkers wants wage increases of at least 15% for 3 years in the gold sector. The union also wants up to 60% for low earners to ensure better wage parity between staff and CEOs. It accuses the Mineral Resources Department of siding with mining companies, but Minister Gwede Mantashe says the union has failed to exercise its right to approach him directly. Now, for more on this, I'm joined by the union's Deputy General Secretary, William Mabapa. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Mabapa, and thank you so much for your time. So the minister is saying that you've not used, the opportunity to confront him directly. Is this true?
No, that is blue lies. I can send letters that were sent by our former General Secretary, Comrade Spunzi. There is a lot of letters. What is even disappointing in his department is that there is no acknowledgement of the letters. So I'm sure he's the last person to say that we didn't. Let me even be practical. He phoned me, and that was for the first time in 2015, when he started to see us on the news. And when I said to him, because I'm on holidays at home in Limpopo, can I send you a letter on Tuesday when I'm in the office? He even is skeptical that I don't have to formalize anything. He wants us to talk like I must phone. We talk on the phone. You can see that he's a person that doesn't want to take a paper trail. But I can, on Tuesday, send eNCA all the letters that we send to his department himself. We can show you the letters that we send to the Director General, Morena. And in all those letters, to him, no acknowledgement. To Morena, there will be an acknowledgement, but there will never be a follow-up. So the issue that you raise will never find its way because he will only acknowledge that you got your letter. So I want to put it very clear and open that we do have several letters that we send to the minister. He even failed to just acknowledge.
Mr. Mabapa, so
some other time, he made us to believe that the area where we're sending the letter, the person is no longer working in that department. We are a stakeholder. I will take it that as a constant stakeholder, if there is a changes of individuals in that department, they must notify us that the correspondence that must directly go to the minister himself told me that the reason why he doesn't want us to write letters, it is because the letters can take 2 days, 3 days before he receives. But the problem is, this is our official issues. When we want to meet with the minister, we must write a letter. We must state the issues that the minister wants us to discuss. But I will prove this point. On Tuesday, I can send you a letter as a proof. I'm going to write him a letter, and I'm going to copy all the letters that were sent to him as a minister through his personal assistants. I will attach all the letters that were sent to the Director General. So I heard him saying that I'm saying I've spoken with the juniors. I don't know those juniors in his department unless he tells me that the Director General is a junior. So I've never spoken with anybody below the director's levels.
How confident are you, though? Sorry to just jump in there. Sorry to jump in there, Mr. Mabapa. How confident are you, though, if you're saying that you've sent letters after letters to the minister, to essentially address the issues? How confident are you that they're even going to, meet the demands that you're putting forward?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, that's why one is making a conclusion that the department is weak because, like I'm saying, if they fail to even respond a letter, then the likelihood is that they will never solve any problems. So there are many issues that we can talk, particularly in issues that are in the mining space, issues that are in the energy space. I'm sure every day there is a talk about ESCOM. And then, unfortunately, with ESCOM, there are 2 ministers responsible. But as to their intervention, I'm sure you will never hear them talking much about what are the intervention at ESCOM when ESCOM is in crisis. So, but like you are saying, it's a matter of how we see things. But to us, we create a paper trail that if one day somebody wake up and start to talk a different language, we can then show him a paper trail and say, these are the letters that we sent to your department. And as like I'm saying, if a person change, if I've got a PA and then people contact me through my PA and I'm changing the PA, it's my responsibility to inform them about my personal PA who changed. And I'll take it that if one was the PA, there must be a way that if, for example, you contact a person with an email, there must be a way of tracking the emails of the person that was working for a period of a transition.
I want to now get into the matters of your demands, Mr. Mabapa. Sorry to just butt in there once again. I just want to get to the matter of your actual demands. Of course, you would understand and know very, very well that the economy has, has not been really great because of COVID-19. There's been job losses. There's been people that have seen their salaries cut and things like that. Do you not feel that maybe this is unreasonable to ask for such a high wage increase?
Yeah, no, I hear you saying that we are demanding a high rate. It depends on how you calculate. It's the same issue that, we demand 15%, but the interpretation of eNCA is that we demand 50%. But, well, it's fine. We understand the calculations that eNCA used, which is the right of interpretation to them. So look, I always raise this issue that 50% sound a very big number, but it depends on what is the 50% of how much. So in our situation, we are making two comparisons. We are saying it is a 15% increase, but this 15%, if you can look at the amount and compare to what the companies pay CEOs and senior management, we will all agree that the amount that makes by that 15%, whether it becomes in your calculation, you will say it's a 50%. The issue is either way, it will come up to a certain rand and cents. And then you take that rands and cents and then you compare it with the senior management. In different ways, when senior management, just for a first appointment in a company, how much does that person spend value? It's a lot of money, but nobody will come and say, how can one person come to this company that you can say it can afford and be paid so much money with so much benefits? But when the people that are doing the job, that makes him to earn that money, nobody bother to calculate that what is the difference. I want to raise this issue to say maybe make it newsworthy for us to demand this, but at sometimes make it newsworthy to tell us as South African citizens that what is the difference between CEOs and the lowest paid employee in many of these companies. For example, if we were to take the gold as an example, we can also use the energy, where we can ask how much the CEO of Eskom is earning compared to the lowest paid, even though, unfortunately, Eskom, we are talking of a company that already the minimum is more than 15,000. But the reality of the matter is we were to check those issues to say, if you go to, for example, we are saying now, if you go to Eskom, yes, currently the Eskom minimum is more than 15,000. But when you go to the gold mines, the gold mines is one of the lowest paid. If you look at the other sectors like your diamond, it's leading in the space. When you look at the platinum, they are better than the gold. And if you look at the history, gold mines were for a long time been there. The reality of the matter is gold miners were robbed for a better salary for many years. And these other things, we don't have to make jokes. Many people like yourselves can call us tell us that our demands are reasonable. But if we can look, your salary is either 4 or 5 times, or let me just say 5 or 6 times the salary of the person that you take about. Even yourself, you are not there. Because if you were there, you were to feel. There are many people that are poor. They are working every day, they go to work, but they are just very poor.
I just want to jump in there and ask, Mr. Mabapa, I just want to jump in there and ask then, what is the lowest, when you say that, you know, the gold sector is got the lowest earners, what exactly is the lowest in figures?
In terms of the figures, the lowest in the gold is 950, 9,500, 9,500. That is the lowest paid in the gold. And I must emphasize, none of, even 1 month, none of the management can survive with that salary.
Yeah.
If we can just ask and say, can we agree that all employees in this company, starting with the CEO, this month must earn 9,500? Majority of them, they are going to faint because they will know very well that that is one issue. It is one installment of one issue. Let me just say that is even less than the installment of his car. The installment of his car is far, far, far more than that 9,500. So one installment is more than 9,500. But to them, they feel it is reasonable that employees can survive out of that 9,500. When it is month's end, these employees are struggling because you need to make a budget out of those peanuts. And truly speaking, things today, you can imagine seated back where you are seated, that I'm sure you're starting to struggle and to imagine how these people are surviving, because you can't survive with that money.
Yeah.
It's too small to make a living.
All right, Mr. Mabapa, unfortunately, we are out of time, but thank you so much for, of course, unpacking the demands and unpacking the grievances that you do have. That is the Deputy General Secretary of the NUM, William Mabapa.